Hello everybody, we're back with a NaNoWriMo video because it's not yet November yet. I've been recording all this stuff before November, so I don't have to do any video recording and editing during November because I'll be busy writing. But we've seen this one before, of course. This is my Miffy notebook with all the different stuff about the story that I'm going to write. So far I haven't done too much, but what I thought I would do is continue with naming the characters, because I had a few characters already in here that I named and gave some information about. Let's see, that was Lewis. We have Linus here, who lives in the mountains, keeps distance from people. I think I did this on the video last time. And then we have George. I don't think I actually show you George. So George is now going to be called Reginald, or Reggie for short. Retired mine worker, legs disabled in mining accident, former employee of mining corporation, generally disliked, no other income other than disability check. Grandfather to Alex, who has to have a different name as well. Evelyn, I'm going to call her Ethel, just because that's the first name that came up. Married to Reginald, grandmother to Alex, generally loved in town, so those two are kind of opposites. A long-suffering, faithful wife, no income other than Reginald's disability check, so there's like a motive going on over there as well, maybe. Maybe she's hoping to get some retirement benefits, or what you call that, widower's pension. Alex is going to be Josh, and I'm calling him Josh because in the game files, I believe Alex's house is called Josh's house or something like that. So initially he was going to be called Josh. Thought it'd be funny to actually call him Josh in the book as well. In any case, he lives with his grandparents Ethel and Reginald, looking to become professional athletes, and he's not going to be a gridball player. I thought he might be a good wrestler. And it's out of school but has no income, so that kind of puts him in a bit of a questionable character. Also on George's tab, I'm gonna have to make sure to put Josh, so we keep the new names. So I have that for Alex/Josh. And Marnie I'm calling Cheryl, just because that's what came up. So instead of having a ranch, I thought she would be good to run a wildlife rehabilitation center with her nephew Shane, whom I'm calling Jerry. I don't know, I couldn't think of a good name for Shane, so now Shane is Jerry. And so they take care of their niece Bree, which is Jazz. I'm going to have to put that over here so we know who's who. Everything's kind of like back and forth here, but okay, that's okay. And they're in a secret relationship with Mayor Gerald, or Lewis, obviously. I put an X here because I think eventually she's going to have an argument with her boyfriend about something, and she's going to want to take all of her stuff with her. I may have mentioned it in the previous video, but in case I didn't mention that, I'm going to mention it again. So she's going to be rooting through all of his things to get her stuff back. Like she may have left some clothes at his place, and then she's going to like pull open a drawer, and it's going to like come falling out of the actual cabinets. And then it turns out, as the drawer empties itself, that there was a false bottom, and then underneath the false bottom is the book, in which Lewis has been keeping tabs on all the stuff that he's been doing, and she quickly catches sight of, I don't know, his plans to murder people, or, I don't know, notes on how he murdered other people who have already died since then, and she's, like, going to know what's going on. And since Gerald/Lewis will be there to see the whole thing happen, he's like, okay, well now, unfortunately, I can't let you walk away because now you know everything. So that's why she has an X. So there's that. Unfortunately, she may come to pass. Which is going to be a bit of an issue for Jerry/Shane and Bree/Jazz, because what are they going to do without Marnie/Cheryl? I don't know. We're going to have to take a look. Anyway, so Shane/Jerry is over here. Question mark. I already thought about that earlier. Like, what is he going to do when she's not there? He's going to focus the entire time. He might actually appreciate having then the entire rehabilitation center to work on, so then he can like stop working for the mining company, which he is initially going to be doing, because in the game he works for Jojo Mart and he really hates his job there. It's not paying much, but there's not, I guess, not enough work at the rehabilitation center for him to work there 24/7. But now that Cheryl then disappears, maybe there will be that opportunity. I don't know. Either way, so he works at the mining company for low pay and helps at the animal rehab. Has substance abuse issues because there isn't much going on for him in his life, and he's got a lot of depression issues, of course. Very dissatisfied with life, like I said. Functions as an older brother/father figure to Bree/Jazz. So there's Shane. I'm thinking I'm going to keep him alive. I think with Marnie gone, or Cheryl, his depressive slash somewhat self-deletion tendencies will be turned into an I really need to be there now for Bree, so that might save him actually, so there might be some good quote-unquote out of this whole thing. And maybe not. I haven't really made up my mind yet. So this one got stuck on the other page. That's why you have some stuff over here. But okay, most of her face is still here, so that's good. So this is Jazz slash Bree. She lives with Aunt Cheryl and Uncle Jerry, one of the only 2 children in town, and helps her aunt at the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center when she's not receiving tutoring or doing homework. Other than that, she's just a kid doing her own thing. We're not actually going to do anything with them because they're just children. And now this one's stuck. Okay, here we go. Here is Ambrosmodius the Wizard. Oh, I called him Reginald. I already called George Reginald. I'm going to have to give him a different name. Okay, so I'm going to call him, let's say his M stands for Marty. So now he's Marty. Can't call him Reginald because we already have a Reginald in town. I mean, in real life, you tend to have people with the same name as well, but in a book, I think it's easier to have everybody have their own unique name. Otherwise, it's going to be a little difficult. You have to keep explaining which Reginald you're talking about, so we're not going to do that. So, Ambrosmodius is no longer a wizard, unfortunately. Womp womp. So now we're just a vagrant. I put that over here, vagrant, called Marty. And he lived in the derelict house where currently Hatmouse is in the game, but Hatmouse is not going to be in the game because we're not going to have weird goblins, mouse people, etc. in the story. That's going to be a little bit too much. So he's going to be having lived there. He's going to be disappearing before the story starts. Didn't have much contact with the townsfolk because he's a bit of a loner. He's going to be very eccentric. So I'm going to put that over here as well. Is that how you spell it? Eccentric? Pretty sure that's how you spell it. He disappears before the story starts, like I said, and he's going to be the first victim of Lewis, because Lewis is going to be like, I don't need this guy. He's keeping a house occupied, and we could maybe fix it up and sell it to somebody else, you know, and not that that's going to happen immediately. Maybe it will happen, I don't know. We'll see. And then we have Leah, or I'm going to call her Sophie. She is still an artist, regardless of what anybody says. I don't know if she's going to be working with wood. Maybe she's going to be more of a potter or something along those lines. Like it looks like a nice little pottery shack. She could get like mud from the river, make her own clay. I think that might be good. I'm going to put that over here. Like, so she's not necessarily a woodworker, so not necessarily related to Leah. So she has little to no income because she barely sells any of her stuff. There's only so many pots that you can buy from somebody. And also, if you ever bought something from somebody that's handmade, the price is always a little higher because, of course, they need to get their costs out of it. You know, that's just how it is. So she's not going to be selling everybody's crockery 24/7. So she has little to no income, which makes her a little bit dangerous. At least she's on the danger list. Relies on the kindness of others and foraging for survival. And she bought the cabin with her grandfather's inheritance and fixed it up best she could, and that's how she managed to live there. Still, though, she has a rent to pay because she is renting that plot. So I'll just say has rent to pay for the plot of land, which is where her income needs arrive from. So not just the food that she needs, she also needs to pay. So she is going to eventually end up being economically unviable, according to Lewis / Reginald, or Gerald, sorry. And so she's going to end up disappearing as well. They're going to end up finding pottery shards along the cliff edge, or at the bottom of the cliff. And that's how we know that she left in a hurry. Elliot is going to be called Monty, which is short for Montague. I figured he would have a fancy name like that. He is still going to be a writer, still living along the coast. Free-spirited writer who lives by himself near the mouth of the river, overlooking the mountain and the valley. Mountains in the backdrop. I don't know why I got all like scenic over there. Maybe because it's his spirit coming through. I don't know. So there's gonna be the river going to the sea. So he's going to be living along, I guess, just before the beach starts. It's going to be a little plot of land still, and then he can overlook the beach, but he's also kind of still in the foresty area. And if he looks behind his cabin, he's going to see like the mountain, the valley, etc., etc. So it's going to be a very nice scenic area, which is just the thing for a writer looking for inspiration. And not super interesting, but I guess he's going to be talking about that because he is the type of person who would talk about that. So there's that. Occasionally does some odd jobs to make a bit of money for basic needs. Other than that, has no income because he's not selling his work. He's just writing and enjoying his life, which is great, but not in the eyes of somebody who wants extra money to come into town. So the spot where he lives could sell for some good money. So that's probably going to be the thoughts of Gerald, who wants that plot to be sold to somebody who's going to have an actual job. Willie is a bit on thin ice. I'm going to call him Dennis. And he is Robert's younger brother, and Robert is Linus. Because if you look at Linus, is that this page over here? It's going to be a little difficult, but if you look at the face, they look kind of similar. So I thought maybe they're related. At least I'm going to have them being related, so they have slightly different noses. But I think they're kind of similar, so I thought if those two were brothers, and Linus started living up in the mountains after Willie's son, who is called Daniel, right here, drowned in a fishing accident, a boating accident. Linus decided, you know what, I'm not going to do any of this rat race 9 to 5 anymore. I'm going to go live in the mountains because I need to process this, and society sucks. I'm out of here. Then we still have Dennis over here on the beach, occasionally fishing to try and make do. And he does provide the town with fresh fish and crabs with his one-man fishing operation, but still he's not super profitable. And also the area that he lives could be used for an actual boating organization or some larger corporation that would like to have their fishing processing plant there. I don't know, because Gerald's going to be looking at ways to make more money. So there's that. So we have that. That's Willie. And then I think I stopped with the tabs, yeah, pretty sure. And then we have everybody's other portrait in here, and we don't have a name for them yet. I got an extra page for Penny, or Pam. Okay, all right. So Pam doesn't have a name yet. Let's give them all names, because that's kind of why I wanted to do this video first of all. So Pam, I could see her being called, I don't know, Frances. Let's call her Frances for now. Or Francis, Francine. Fran for short. So Fran is going to be the town drunk. I'm not going to write all the information here because that's going to take way too long. I'm going to give everybody names currently. So we have Pam, who's now called Frances/Fran. Penny. Where are you? Where are you, Penny? She's behind this page. There you are. Penny. Penny is going to go because Penny cannot afford to pay the rent on her own. She only has her teaching job. I shall call her Susan or Susie. There we go. And she's going to be a part-time tutor. She's not really an official teacher. She just started teaching the kids because nobody else was doing it. But I don't think she has official training. She may decide to go to town after Pam/Fran has disappeared and maybe make a life of her own there and try to become an actual official teacher. Then we have Pierre. What shall I call Pierre? Pierre looks like, I'm just going to call him Tom. Tom or Thomas. Tom is a decent name. He is still the store owner, shopkeep, because we do need some type of shop store. What am I writing today? Shop/store owner. Let's do it like that. Sometimes my brain wants to write something that I don't want to write, but it does it anyway. So he's still the shop owner. He's not going to go anywhere because he makes money for the town. Then we have Caroline. Caroline, I'm going to call you Emily, just because, again. So there is Emily. She's not going to go anywhere either because she, of course, is the shopkeep's wife. And I think I'm actually going to have her helping out at the store. Then we have Abigail. Shall we call Abigail? What would two people call Tom and Emily call their daughter? Janet. Your name is now Janet. Congratulations, Abigail. I'm not a huge Abigail fan. I don't hate her, but I'm also not super interested. So here we have Demetrius. Well, we'll call him... Let's call him Dave for now. Still a D name. but less fancy than Demetrius. I don't know, I've never really liked the name Demetrius. It's a little too long. Also, nobody calls him Demi or something like that, or Dem. They all call him Demetrius, so it's like the stiffness of his character, maybe, that he doesn't actually get a pet name. I don't know, but I'm gonna call him Dave. Looks like Dane, but it's Dave. Maybe someone else can be called Dane. Then we have Robin, who's gonna have a construction company. Construction instead of a carpentry company owner, and they're all going to help out with that. The entire family is going to help out with that. I do want to keep, maybe Demetrius can be a geologist, because we're like around this pretty important mountain, which I gave a certain name. Where is the name? Is it plots? Put it, here we go, Old Grey Bones over here. It probably has a more official name. But the mountain's very important in this story. So we have Robin here, and I will call her Robin. What would Robin be called? They have a son and a daughter. I haven't given them names yet. So we have Robin and Dave. I will call her Bernice. And then we can call her Bernie for short. So everybody's going to call her Bernie because Bernice is one of those old-fashioned names. She probably doesn't like it when people call her Bernice. So now she's Bernie. We have Sebastian, most people's favorite. I like him as well. Kind of like, I'm lately, like a little aside here, I'm kind of stuck between do I like Sebastian or Sam better. They're also best friends, so there's kind of like a bit of an overlap there. What shall we call Sebastian? Let's see, his mother's name is Bernice. She might like to call him something cute. Maybe she called him Jonathan, which he might not also appreciate, so most people just call him Johnny. There we go. There's Johnny. Who's Johnny? She said. And now we have Maru. Maru strikes me as a... I want to call her Dottie for some reason, but that's got to be short for something. Dottie, and then her name is gonna have been what's a D name? I don't know, something else. Something else, Dottie, which is longer for something else. And maybe nobody knows what the original name is other than Robin and Demetrius. And of course Sebastian might know, but she just wants everybody to call her Dottie, and her actual name is going to be something completely different. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. We're going to give her a completely different name. She's actually going to be Samantha. But she doesn't like it, so everybody just calls her Dottie. There. Just because, why not? Sometimes people are like that. And then we have Kent over here. And he looks like Guile from Street Fighter, but I can't call him that, so I'll just call him Ken. Or Kenneth. All the way. Maybe Kent is already short for Kenneth, I don't really know. But he can still be a veteran, for sure. Don't know his backstory yet. Here we have Jody. And Jody is going to be Mary. There. I'm not going to think too long about that. Then we have Sam here. Sam is going to be... Sam can be... let's call Sam Alex. Because for some reason, I always confused Alex and Sam at the start of the game. I would call him Alex and then Alex Sam. I don't know why. So now I'm going to make the confusion complete by also calling him Alex in the story. That's great. So we have Vincent here. And Vincent is going to be... let's see, he called them Alex. Or Charlotte called them Alex. I'll call him... I'll call him Kevin. Call me Kevin. There he is. Alright, there we go. Then we have Emily, the actual Emily. But she is going to be Barbara. Is it Barbara or Barbara? I don't know. We'll just call it Barb. Barb, for short. Nobody wants to be Barbara. Some people like it. Most people don't. Haley, let's see. Haley I'm gonna call Kaylee, because why not? Kaylee, shall we call it Kaylee? Like some people do that? There we go. Kaylee with a GH, because some people like to be special. So there's Barb and Kaylee, and Morris. Oh, Morris, not A. Morris can be Peter. Nobody really cares. Peter's one of those generic names. There you go. I think I still have Marlon in here. Oh, we still have Clint. Don't forget about Clint. Clint can be Mark with a C. Because, there you go. Don't want to think too much about Clint, so we're moving on. The governor doesn't need a name. Governor. Just going to call him the governor. Don't really need to give him a name. He's just going to be some entity that's in the background. Oh, Harvey. Why do we always forget about Harvey? Harvey is the doctor. I will call him, I'll call him Nick. Nicholas Cage. There you go. How did it get burned? I don't know. Let's go. Do I still have Marlon back here? No, I have Gus. Gus, I'm going to call Billy. Oops. Or Bill. Because I gave him the song by Billy Joel, the Piano Man, as his theme song. So we're going to call him Billy Joel, basically. He's Billy right now. Then we have Gunther. Gunther can be... let's call Gunther... Bjorn. Because, ooh, not an L. Bjorn. Gunther's already a bit of a weird European name. More of a German name. Let's give him a Swedish name. He's now Bjorn. Because we can. Then we have Marlon. He is our guide. He's going to be like a Sherpa for, or a guide for the people wanting to go up Old Greybones. What shall we call Marlon? I'm going to call Marlon Ben. And then the long name is going to be Benedict, which nobody ever uses. It's going to be on his passport or whatever. And then we are out of characters. So that is all of them. They all got their names and some slight idea about what their background's going to be. And that's just going to have to be it for now. So in a couple days, it's going to be go time. And mostly I need to work on the plot because I have some ideas about the characters, I have some ideas about the world, I have some ideas about who's going to die and when. But of course there is space in between, and we're going to have to work out how to keep things interesting in between people dying, like what's happening there. Of course there's going to be a lot of drama between the people themselves, and that's the sort of thing that I need to write down so I know what to write about in the days in between where nobody's dying. So that is it for the NaNoWriMo for now. Hope you found that interesting. In any case, hope you have a nice day, and hope to see you in another video where we're going to be talking about something completely different. And thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.